to my channel. It's gonna be a lot of fun today. Doing my favorite workouts, which is bicep curls. Pretty basic. I always say it. I love having big biceps. It's probably naturally my biggest muscle next to my shoulders. So it's fun to just keep on working what I'm already naturally good at. Yeah, pretty basic. So we're gonna jump on it with the 10 pounds, just warming up. Again, as always, it's very important to take that time to warm up. Kind of see if you got any aches and pains, anything that's gonna turn into a major problem for you. I don't know what day of the week you're watching this, but this is my Monday. So I'm pretty excited. Not only I'm excited because not only is it Monday, start of a new week, but also that biceps falls on Monday, which means it's gonna be I'm gonna have a really good chance to push it hard if I'm not sore from a workouts earlier in the week. As the week progresses, it's always harder to do better and better than the previous week. It's just natural fatigue building up. Sounds like one of my neighbors is getting a start out there with a leaf blower. See how much that gets picked up by the microphone. I finally saw a new Superman this weekend. I was really excited about that. It was a lot of fun. I thought it was a really good movie. James Gunn's Superman. If you haven't seen it in theaters, I would go see it. It was fun. I liked it. I like that they fixed some stuff I didn't like before. I didn't like in the other Superman when Jonathan Kent dies during the tornado. I thought that was very silly. There was no need for Kevin Costner to die. Superman could have easily ran out, saved them, taken them somewhere else, and ran back with no one noticing. Could have, for looks, they could have snapped his arm and dropped him in the field and been like, oh, the tornado threw him into the next county. Crazy, but crazier things have happened. But no, just let him die. I didn't say it, but those are the 20 pounds. Just moving up. I like to warm up with the 10 pounds and then switch to the 20 pounds. 20 pounds is obviously heavier than 10 pounds and gives me a little bit more of an opportunity to see if anything's not happy in the muscles, if anything's not happy in my joints. Before I grab, I'm gonna grab the 40 pounds next. But I like to discover any problems before I grab the heavy weights. And I think that's a good way to go. Fill it out, give yourself a chance to warm up, see if you have any trouble spots. And always make sure you do it. I know when you're younger, like when I was, you're 18, 19, 20, and you're walking into a gym, it seems silly to like warm up in front of all the guys that are like ripped, and there's a lot of pressure to rush through it. A lot of pressure to be like, oh man, I don't need to do this. Just know to all the older guys that are like jacked and have been working out for a long time, it's gonna look silly that you don't warm up. Even though it feels silly to warm up, they'll all be like, oh man, why is this guy warming up? And then if you hurt yourself because you didn't warm up, you're gonna look really dumb. So don't give into that pressure to not warm up. Just do it. I have one of my children is out here watching me today. They're being very good with being quiet and just playing on their tablet. One of my children is a morning person, and they like to wake up early, and yeah, it's good. It's definitely not I'm not a morning person. My wife is, so they can usually wake up and just be morning people together. That's not my jam at all. All right, so we're gonna be moving on to 40 pounds. So 40 pounds is the big weight that I'm working with. The goal is to get to sets of 10. With every workout that I do, I like to hit 3 sets of 10, and then I move up to a higher weight. So in order to get to 45 pounds, I got to get through these 40 pounds with the 3 sets of 10. Last week on the first set, I only got 5. So if I can get 6, that's a huge accomplishment. Just minor accomplishment, but it's the only way you get to the big stuff. Bring these bad boys out here. All right, quick pause there where my delightful child wanted to see if they could start playing music. All right, 40 pounds. All right, that's 7. That's 2 more. 2 more reps over last time. So progress. That's what it looks like. Sometimes it's just two more sets. I'm gonna say I've had really bad form in the past, and if you look at a lot of my videos, especially like 2024, I do a lot of like jerking motions. I'm really trying to get out of that, so it was really hard there because I was like, I can go for 8, but if I go for 8, I'm gonna do a big swing. So really trying to stay out of that. Trying to make sure I maintain good form. Made myself another 30 seconds, so I'm gonna jump back on it. I usually try to give myself no more than, longest is a minute of breaking between each sets, but trying to keep it closer to 30 seconds. Pardon me. Obviously, when I'm lifting heavy, I'm giving myself a little bit more time to recover because I do want to keep, moving the big weights. So, all right, here we go. Ooh, that was hard. All right. That's 5. So typically, when I'm working out, if I can't hit a set of 8, then I'll drop down to a lower weight. With this right now, with the 40s, I really want to just keep working with the 40s as long as I can before dropping down. I used to be able to do like a solid set of 3 sets of 8 with the 40s, and I could do like sets of 10 with the 40s. So I want to get back to that. So I'm staying a little bit higher than I normally would when my sets drop down. I just really want to be back there. I really want to get to the 45s and then the 50s. All right. Okay. All right. All right, we're gonna drop down to the 30s. So again, really trying to maintain those smooth motions and not get into the jerk. As you can see in that last rep, it was like hard to stop it. I really wanted to go for a 4th one, but you gotta listen to your body. You gotta be smart. You gotta know that your mind and will can drive you into a bad spot with hurting yourself. But I have learned. I can power through, make some really big mistakes if I let myself. I just can't afford any more injuries. Don't want to. My last big injury was tearing my pec, and that kept me out of being able to lift or like run hard for over a year. And I just don't want to do that again. 10. I had a dentist appointment this last week, and I learned something cool I didn't know. I did know part of it is I grind my teeth, and I was going to a new dentist and had X-rays done, and he said, "Yeah, I can look at your jawline and your bones, and I see a lot of really thick bone, which tells me you grind your teeth. Your bone has gotten thicker to support that, or because of that." I thought that was fascinating how your body changes so much based off of what you do to it, the wear and tear, and it changes all the way down to the bone structure. That's fascinating. It's not good that I grind my teeth, but it's cool that the body starts to adapt to that and make itself stronger. I'd say one thing I notice when I watch videos online, like you see people promoting their particular style of working out. Sometimes they start off by tearing down someone else's routine. And I see this conversation happen in public as well. Two guys will be talking about their lifting, and one guy will be like, "Oh yeah, I do, low weight, high reps." The guy will be like, "Oh man, that's like really not great. You're not gonna get big muscles. Here's how you get big muscles." And they tell them their take on it. I'm trying not to do that to people in public and people that I meet. I think encouraging them to work out and keep lifting. I think it's good if you have something different and you want to talk about what you do different that works best for you. Talk about it that way. Like I say, "Oh, that's cool, man. It's awesome. I prefer, high weights, low reps, but that's great. Like, go for it, man. Like, don't detract from what someone else is doing. You don't want someone to be embarrassed and then stop lifting or try something that they're not ready for because you told them your grand plan." I have a nephew right now that's like 15 and just started hitting the gym, and he's doing the low weight, high reps, and it's perfect. It's perfect for him. It's exactly what he should be doing, especially because he's a baseball player. He doesn't need big giant muscles slowing him down. So just making sure that encouraging him to keep working out, and not like, "Oh man, like, well, if you want to get big, here's what you need to do, kid." He has his whole life to get big. He doesn't have to have a bunch of pressure to get giant biceps today. it won't do him any good for what he's trying to do with his life. That's 8. And when people talk about their fitness, it's good to be as encouraging as you can. Unless you hear them doing something that's really going to hurt them, let them do their thing. Whatever it is that gets them out of the bed and moving, don't detract from that by putting a bunch of negative stuff in their head. And vice versa, if you're starting your journey and you're pursuing fitness, don't let everybody else, all those other voices, stop you from doing what's working for you and what makes you feel good. Do what you like, do what feels good, and you'll have a much easier time getting out, working out, and staying motivated. And that's the thing that makes me keep coming out here and me keep working out, is that I'm doing what's fun for me and what I enjoy. The closest I get to not having fun is leg day. that is the thing that I have to dig down deep and push push myself the most through, is leg day. Everything else I really enjoy. The only good part about leg day is later on telling people like how much weight or squats you can do. That feels good. Or if you have to move like a fridge or something big, or a bunch of bags of cement, or your buddy needs help moving gravel, that's where you like leg day shines and it feels good. But I'm never as pumped for leg day. So the last 3 sets have just been sets of 8. But I'm going to keep going until I dip below that 8 mark, which will probably be this next set. Being real honest there. Oh, all right, 5. All right, I'm going to go down to the 25 pounds. One thing you see is me like doing my wrists a lot. My wrists, like for some reason, always tend to get sore the most or tired the most. I did break this arm really close to the wrist when I was younger. I don't know if that's just why that is, but all right, 25 pounds. That's 10. Oh man, 6. All right, that is it for today. Thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun for me. I hope that you find motivation in this, whether you are been lifting for years or you're just getting into it. Again, it's all pretty basic stuff. You can get in, get yourself a set of dumbbells, and go to town. Don't have to worry about going to the gym. Don't have to carve out extra time for your day for driving, finding the equipment that you want. You come in, you see you get a good workout done in 30 minutes, and move on with your day. Then again, if you have the weights at home, you got the 30 minutes. It chips away at that ability to give yourself excuses, and that's a big thing for me. Being a dad, taking care of kids, taking care of the house. I want to give myself the least amount of excuses possible to keep me from taking long breaks or not getting in here. Get in, get done, move on with your day, feel good. That's what it's all about. If you are like I was, at 246 pounds, I was really overweight. I couldn't lift because losing the fat was the main goal. I had to get rid of that weight. And if they're in that same boat, man, just making sure you're doing that walking. Walk, keep walking. We get to a point where you drop down and it's safe. You start jogging. You get down to a point where you can start running. I would say one thing. I was talking to this lady, and she was all about losing weight. She had 4 kids, and she was really motivated to lose weight. And she was like, yeah, like I started running, and I ran like 3 miles. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's awesome. Were you a runner like when you were younger and stuff? She's like, oh no, I never ran before. And I was like, oh man, like, not really trying to say this to her, but like, you want to be careful with that. If you weren't running a lot before you put on weight, and then your goal is to lose that weight, but you're going to start running really hard, you're going to hurt yourself. Really start off with that walking, start off with that jogging. Taking those baby steps is crucial to just not injuring yourself. And even if you were like a really good runner before, man, if you were 40 pounds, 100 pounds overweight, and you weren't running like that before, you're going to hurt yourself. Take any guy that's out there running today, slap a 50-pound vest on them, and there's going to be injuries as a result of running at that higher weight. It's just not good. It's not a smart way to start. Focus on going through that fat and you can lift. I'm not saying don't lift. For me, because I torn my pec, which is one of the reasons why I packed on so much weight from just not being able to do anything and kind of being slightly depressed. That was a big part of it. I didn't lift because I didn't want to hurt myself again before I got through losing the fat that I needed to lose. When you're overweight, that fat is the first thing that's got to go. It's going to make it so much easier and better to do everything else. Don't risk hurting yourself. And if you're at that step, been there, do those steps, do the walking, do the jogging, do the running, and then you'll be able to do this stuff, and you're going to feel, a lot better about it. So thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have all the success. God bless you. Thank you.
All right, today with the 25-pound vest, I did bicep curls. I did 3 sets of 10 with the 10 pounds, 3 sets of 10 with the 20 pounds. With the 48 pounds, I did 1 set of 7, 1 set of 5, 1 set of 3. With the 30 pounds, I did 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 8, 1 set of 5. With 25 pounds, I did 1 set of 10 and 1 set of 6. Thank you.